Hey guys, so one of the things that we were looking at last time was we just started this Thaumanomanomacon and we'd started up our little research table and stuff. One of the other tools that we sort of passed over was the crucible. So first things first, I'm going to make that now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to need to take my wand from here, and you'll see, where have I put it? I have crafted a cauldron because it is actually the cauldron that we need. You'll notice if I use my wand, we now have a crucible. In here I have a lava bucket. Now the crucible needs a heat source. Oh, I'll pop that under there. There we go. And then it needs to be filled with water in much the same way as a cauldron. So I'll pop some water in. You'll notice after a couple of seconds the crucible should start to bubble. There we go. Okay, now this bubbling just means that it's ready. It's ready to accept items and turn them into V, or use the V to create some sort of item. So one of the first thing we researched on our table was Netor, this eternal flame sort of element that comes with Thaumcraft, and it says in here that it needs 4 ignis, 6 lux and 4 potentia to create Netor, and it uses 5 Vs. So what we're going to do, I think I've just worked out that that is what you would get using 2 coal and 6 torches. You get a little bit of excess of this rock aspect, but I'm not too worried about that to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my coal in, and I'm going to throw my torches in, and hopefully when I use my wand on this I should receive, there we go, Netor. So what I've got here, and Netor is another way of lighting. I think this is pretty cool, but it's actually useful for quite a lot of other stuff. So you can put it up as a way of lighting your home. And better say, there are other things later on that that'll be used for, so that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to put that there. I'll probably end up forgetting about it, but it's quite cool. I think that's pretty cool. And then I think we're going to have a go at researching something else. So what I'm going to do is I've put the iron nuggets. One of the reasons I've broken my iron down into nuggets is because each nugget offers up 1 metallum, whereas an iron ingot offers up 8. So it's better to split it up into 9 and just use them one at a time. So here we go. Oh, this is started on something. Now you'll notice first of all it doesn't know what it is. Now we know it's going to be a metallum because that's the only aspect that iron nuggets offer. But there we go, we carry on, that gets confirmed, and we get our notes. So we're doing research for basic transmutation now. And I believe this is using the crucible. This will allow you to transmutate any metal into gold, I believe. But let's have a look. Okay, so there are 2 others that we need. Now you can look through the guides and bits and pieces like that to see what aspects each piece of research needs. Otherwise you're doing it trial and error, which is fine. I mean, that's kind of the point, I suppose, a little bit, that you're researching without knowing. Now what will happen is, if you don't need something, if it knows that although we don't know what these aspects are, it's definitely not precantatio even, and vitreous, it's definitely not those 2. Now I can't remember what it's likely to be, but potentia is a possibility. No. One that also comes up in sort of swapping and changing is what you get with like seeds, and also eggs I think are pretty good. There we go, permutation, exchange, change and barter aspect, which makes sense when you're thinking about transmutation. And I believe I had some more. Cool. And this is something you'll notice about Thaumcraft, is it's tough because it uses up a lot of your resources. Now, the other possibility is that I could use up some gold to see whether or not this Chaos aspect is required. It is. Okay. There we go. Basic transmutation is discovered. There we go. So now if we look in our Thaumanomanomacon, we have here, there we go, transformation of base metals into gold. And that requires us to put in 1 Chaos aspect and 2 Metallum aspect, in the same way as we did with a Nitor, but different aspects, to receive 2 gold nuggets. Now, the gold does not so, well, I wouldn't consider that so useful, but this does allow and unlock, I believe, some sort of secret ones, which include transmutation into iron and things like that. So definitely worth unlocking that. The next one I want to try and do is still using the Metallum, I think. Here we go. So using this up. Iron transmutation, there we go. Iron transmutation. Now I'm going to need this permutation, I think, but we've run out. So what I'll do is I'm going to go and grab some seeds and bits and pieces, and then I'll be back with you in a second, guys. Okay guys, so I've gone and got my seeds. Let's head back and carry on our research quickly. I'm pretty sure, there we go. And that's that one. We have now discovered iron transmutation. There we go, we add that into our Thaumanomanomacon and we see that on here. And all we need is 2 Metallum, so you could use gold and bits and pieces as well. Cool, and now I'm going to use these nuggets again, I think, because it's actually quite a lot. As I mentioned earlier on, iron's pretty useful for this. Here we go, researching thaumium. Thaumium is pretty cool. We're gonna have a bit of a play with that as we go. Let's have a look. Let's grab some more iron out, grab a few more nuggets. Here we go. How are we getting on? Cool, so 100%. I'm researching thaumium. I'm pretty sure thaumium requires precantatio. It does. Excellent. And is that 100%? Fantastic. And permutatio again. Lots of TOs. Right, there we go. We have discovered thaumium. So we add that into our Thaumanomanomacon. Now, thaumium requires 8 Metallum and 4 V. So it's effectively you put in your iron, you put in your metal, add some magic, and you get your magic metal, thaumium, which is pretty cool. And it's kind of cool because you can sort of be pedantic and like I have been and make the iron nuggets instead of ingots. But if you use 1 ingot, then you get 1 thaumium ingot. You just need to add magic to it. So that's pretty cool. I believe this is called alumentum, and this may require Metallum again, I believe. What are we at? We don't know. Okay, so this is cool. Let's try permutatio. That's appeared in quite a few. No, it's not. Let's try, just because redstone's easy to get, potentia and machina. It's not this. What about fractus and saxum? Here we go. Saxum, so we're adding in our stone. Magical building blocks. Now magical building blocks are likely to need these. Now I don't know if I have a better source of these at the moment. I don't think I do. Fire shards, no, so it's just going to be shards again. These shards, perfect. Let's add in these shards. So what are we looking at? 100%, and we still don't know what we require here. So, being building blocks, there's a chance that we'll need this sort of crafting that you could get from a crafting table. I don't know what it's called. What is it? Fabrico. Let's have a look. Ah, both. Perfect. Let's put those in. And now we just need... Have we got that? Yeah, we just need wood. So, let's go. Perfect. And we have discovered magical building blocks. Now, magical building blocks are the sort of basis of your infusion altar, which is what we then use later on in some of the recipes and research to create sort of better wands, like attacking wands, wands that make mining a little easier and things like that. So let's have a quick look. But I believe, yeah, so we require thaumium and either stone bits, but also we can use arcane, make arcane wood blocks. There's quite a few bits and pieces that come out of that research, which is quite cool. Right, there we go. Now next, let's have a look. What have we got? I still want to unlock this alimentum, so let's try some nuggets again. Now this is using up a lot and not getting anywhere. Okay, let's try going somewhere else. Ah, we have found alimentum. Perfect. So we've got fractus in there. None of those. Let's just double check that it still doesn't require the... No, it doesn't. Ah, okay. What about this? Perfect. There we go. Alimentum. Let's pop that here. So, alimentum. Oh no. There we go. Fiery energy release. Blah, blah, blah. Good source of fuel. Ah, and explosives. That's pretty cool. Okay. So we would do the same as we did with Nitor. We would just throw in some source of ignis, potentia, and fractus. So ignis and potentia again we could get from the coal. Fractus I think you can get from cobblestone. So it's not a really big deal to make these up. The only thing is we would have excess vis, and now there is this thing called flux, and if we use our crucible to produce excess vis, then it will release as flux into the air. Is that an... It is an enderman. Come here. Ah, no ender pearl. Okay. That's annoying. I just thought I'd try my luck quickly. Ah, you can see my staircase, little grass staircase has worked. We now have grass. Oh, and a dead cow by the looks of it. Never mind. But here we go. Okay, let's just pop these bits back in here. I'm getting quite disorganised now, so I shall, between the next 2 episodes, I shall have a bit of a tidy up, I think. I won't do that whilst doing this though. Ah, this is another thing worth pointing out. I believe these have come from the Biomes of Plenty mod that I've come across, and actually all of these came from underground chests whilst I've been researching, but you can see that they still have Thaumcraft aspects assigned to them, which is pretty cool. So it sort of does tie in quite nicely with lots of different mods. We have our pile of ashes. Ah, pile of ashes, again, another good source of permutatio there, which is cool. Right. Okay, let's have a look. What are we at now? Now I think this is enchanted fabric. Which we might need to get a decent source of wool, I think, before we bother with trying to research that. But the enchanted fabric opens up Thaumaturge's robes, which is quite cool. There's a little armor set that goes with the Thaumcraft mods. I don't think it's particularly sort of hardy, not as good as having like a full Thaumium set or a diamond set, but pretty cool nonetheless. Okay, right, so I'm gonna stop it there, guys, today, and I will see you next time once I've had a bit of a tidy up and gathered up some wool, I think. Bye bye.